Welcome everybody to this pick a card reading. We're going to be asking what is blocking your successful manifestation, and we're going to get some guidance on how to move past those blockages. I'm going to do a little bell clearing here to bring in the energy, bring in good vibes, and connect us with our spirit guides. We do have three options. Number one is represented by this Labradorite card. It says recharge your destiny. So that's number one. Number two says Chrysocolla, what do you need? And the third one here is Obsidian, Sharp and Shadows. All right, so take a moment to get in touch with your intuition, see which option or options may be calling out to you, and just use those timestamps below. I'll see you at your reading. Welcome to everybody who chose option number one, this Labradorite. And so I was looking at this card and then I pulled over the other cards, and this card in and of itself was already kind of giving me the answer. I think for you guys, your manifestations are working very powerfully. In fact, you just may not be seeing that, but you see these candles. Maybe some of you have been using candle magic, but regardless, whatever you're using to help manifest, all of this is working. It's like these candles, the smoke is almost creating like an aurora borealis. Like whatever intentions you're putting out there, they're definitely connecting with the willpower of the planet, you know, the spiritual energies, cosmic energies of the world, the universe. In other words, the universe is very supportive of the intentions that you have already set. We're going to look at the book in a moment to get more of the message about Labradorite, and maybe there's more insight there for you. I also pulled this card from the Sherlock Holmes playing deck, and it says, you see, but you do not observe. And this is the Seven of Diamonds, which is the same as the Seven of Pentacles. Which again is, I mean, this is about, I mean, basically you see, but you do not observe. You know, in the Seven of Pentacles card, this is someone who has put a lot of time, effort, and energy, and they haven't seen the harvest yet. Well, the harvest isn't here, but what you're not observing is that the harvest is well on its way. Everything just takes time. You're definitely getting lots of signs from the universe supporting you and telling you, absolutely, this is manifesting. Everything you're doing is working. All you have to do is continue to take the actions. And if you're ever not sure, like, well, which action is going to be best to help me manifest what I want to manifest, the signs are pointing the way. And with awakening, I just feel like you are... everything is pretty much already in alignment, you know. Let's ask, what, other than you just not seeing it, what guidance? You know, the signs are right in front of your eyes. So I think it's more like what's blocking you from seeing it? Five of Discs. It's just, maybe it's sometimes getting into a little bit of a negative mindset. It feels like a struggle. To you, it feels like you're struggling, and that gets you into a negative mental spiral, perhaps. Is there a good way to get out of that? Just take action. You know, maybe you're overthinking it. There's going to be some sort of action you can take that will definitely support your goals. And then the other thing, I'm looking at this watch on this guy's wrist, it's just that it takes time. You've taken a lot of the actions, and other than that, sometimes it just takes time. And you also need to remember to take action towards caring for yourself as well, and just kind of powering yourself up. You're doing everything right, so you have to put action into yourself as well, not just action into the outer world or whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. You also definitely have to put attention towards yourself, good self-care, raising your own vibrations, keeping yourself spiritually awake. There's a lot here about, you already are highly spiritually awakened and very attuned. But that really seems to be, according to your guides, that seems to be more so what's going to help you to see that everything is manifesting perfectly, actually, is just going to be more spiritually attuned. So let's look in the book for Recharge Your Destiny. Wow, I feel like you're pretty charged up and aligned with it. So let's see what the book says. This card is from this illustrated crystallary book by Maya Toll and Kate O'Hara. It's a great deck. I think she has one for an herballary and something else. I can't think of what it is. But we'll just go to the book and see what she says here. All right. Recharge your destiny. Sometimes it's impossible to connect with a sense of soul's purpose. Life can feel like a dreary trudge from work to the grocery store to your desk piled with bills. It's kind of like what this guy is looking like. He feels pretty dreary. In those moments when you feel far from magical or mystical, call on labradorite. The Inuit people say that labradorite was an ordinary seeming stone until it was struck open by a mighty warrior. Suddenly, labradorite's matrix was revealed. Inside the ordinary was dancing fire. The lights leaped from the stone into the sky, becoming the aurora borealis. Labradorite reminds you that you are both the ordinary seeming stone and the mighty warrior. You have the power to release your own secret depths and light the night sky with your flame. Absolutely. And I feel like you're already doing it, and just keep focusing on your spiritual power is going to help. Let's see. If you don't even have a labradorite stone, that's okay. Everything is energy, so you can just call upon the energies of labradorite as well. All right, one Nordic myth teaches that the aurora borealis connects us to the heavens. It's a pathway to the afterlife for the recently deceased, as well as a shaman's bridge between our material existence and the planes of pure spirit. The connection to the divine realms is the essence of labradorite. Whether a wick, a stick, or a gas fire needs fuel, what fuels your flame? Do you know what lights you up and stirs your passion? If not, ask the fire over 7 consecutive nights. On the first night, light 1 candle. The next night, light 2. The next 3, and so on for 7 nights. As you light each candle, hold the questions in your heart. What is my fuel? What lights me up? Journal what comes to you in the moment, as well as noting dreams and synchronicities. Yeah, I definitely look at this. They're both sitting on, he's sitting on a pentacle, and he looks very dreary, and she's sitting on some like very elaborate sigil and surrounded by, it looks like crystals maybe. Actually, in this deck, they're probably soap, because I think soap represents cups. But in any case, her aura is very pure, or this person's, whoever they may be, very pure and high vibrational. I feel like the difference between these two is this is someone who's attending to their whole self. Their spirit and their soul are alive, and it isn't just the material world. So you may be trying to manifest something in the material world and really focused on that aspect of it, and not feeling like you're getting ahead. But if you focus on the whole self, I think that you will feel the manifestation much more strongly, which you are manifesting it. Even in the material world, you're manifesting it. It just isn't coming maybe as quickly as you'd like. All right, reflection. An acorn has everything it needs, all the resources and nourishment, understandings and patterns to become an oak tree. We are much the same. Everything we are becoming is encoded within us. With light and water and space, we grow. But sometimes we get hung up, like an acorn caught in a spider's web and unable to reach the ground. We feel like we can't take root. We lose sight of any destiny beyond our daily doings. But the pattern is still there, like the fire of labradorite hidden in the ordinary stone. When you were young, did you feel a sense of greater purpose? Can you reach back to that feeling now? You don't need to name your purpose or destiny. Simply feel it and bask in the sensation of having a life's mission. Yeah, I think if you can maybe connect more with, like, what is the greater purpose of my existence, then it will help you to feel more alive and on fire with whatever it is that you are manifesting. Let's see if there's a final message for you. Ten of Swords. I think that really the major barrier for you that you need to let go of is worry and anxiety. And when you do that, it will give birth to this new vitality. Everything will feel lit up again. So if you sense yourself worrying or anxious that what you're doing, the actions you're taking are not manifesting, notice those thoughts. Simply notice them. Oh, I'm getting into an anxiety mindset. Let me focus on something else and let that go, because that's not doing anything for me. All right, so I really hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, welcome pile 2 to your reading. I have a lot of road traffic in the background, so hopefully you can still hear me pretty well. So you chose this card, What Do You Need? Chrysocolla. And what I'm drawn to in this card is this big drop of, well, it's chrysocolla, but to me it's like a big drop of like nourishment that is coming down on you, falling down on you from spirit. It's like a greater awareness that has not quite yet come to you. And I think that when that hits, everything is going to really, it might come in a little bit of upheaval because we have the destruction card, but it's like, whoa, some sort of major spiritual lesson is coming in, and I think it will blow your mind. It's going to give you a lot to think about, but you have a major spiritual awakening, and we can go through many spiritual awakenings. I just feel like there's a new surge of spiritual awakening that is really just about to come in. And so if at any level you feel like you're not manifesting successfully, you're going to have a whole new perspective of life and everything. Life, the universe, metaphysics even, maybe. You know, there's some sort of like enlightenment, totally expanding. I don't know. Your mind is going to get blown. That's what I'm saying here. And I feel here with the Ten of Cups, it says, this is from the Sherlock Holmes playing card deck. No, I am not tired. I have a curious constitution. I never remember feeling tired by work, though idleness exhausts me completely. So I actually feel that there's something that's going to happen that is maybe going to force you to slow down and just be more in a state of contemplation rather than a place of doing. You might be someone who manifests through taking lots of action, which is definitely necessary. Some people have it the other way around. They just want to sit around and think about what they want to manifest and not take action. So I feel like you guys are really good at the taking action part of manifestation, but you're really going to be forced into, you need to just contemplate, you know, like this. This is what you're needing to do more of in order to bring about your manifestations. And it's going to be kind of like forced upon you. I don't want that destruction card to scare you, because I think it's more like light bulbs going off, but instead of light bulbs, it's like lightning bolts, you know. I think it's more like your consciousness is expanding rapidly. Let me pull some other cards for you. Yeah, I think that you are very wise. This is like the Hierophant card, and then we have lessons. You may feel like you already have a lot of cosmic knowledge, metaphysical knowledge. You know how the law of attraction works. You know how all of these universal laws work to help support your manifestations. And I think from your point of view, it's just like, well, I just have to take the appropriate action steps based on what I already know about these spiritual principles, these universal laws. And it's as easy as that. But again, there's something here that is far greater than just that. you know, the workings of your brain and you being busy and taking action, there's something bigger and better unfolding for you. It's something that you never knew you needed. And I don't even know what it is. I can't put a name on it. I think, you know, it'll make sense when it comes in. Let's see, we have the 5 of Engines. I think it may be for some of you something about love, like an opening of your heart. I feel like it's like an opening of your heart and your ability to communicate and receive love, but it maybe feels like conflict, or, you know, it's because it's breaking down the barriers of your heart. I feel for pile 2, you guys probably tend to be a little bit more logical, although obviously you're open to metaphysical things, but in a more logical way. Not as much from the heart, but more from your mind is maybe your preference about how you approach your spirituality. Something's going to break down the barriers of your heart, and it's going to open up a whole new journey of exploration for you. It's all going to be coming from your heart. I don't really know what else I can say to you about it. We are going to look at this card from the book. Maybe that'll give you some more insights. But yeah, the barriers of your heart are going to be breaking down for sure. And that will lead to some really tremendous insights. Okay. Chrysocolla. Without water, chrysocolla is simply oxidized copper and silica. But add water, the element of both flow and emotion, and voila! Magic happens. Water is magical. If you doubt it, imagine our Earth without it. With a little H2O, not only does that copper and silica become rather remarkable, it becomes the stone that the Egyptian Queen Cleopatra never left home without. Chrysocolla knows that any moment we're all just a few water droplets away from complete transformation. That's what I see happening for you as well. That each of us can become a person who adds color and dimension to our world. What do you need to bring into your life or your psyche, Chrysocolla asks, to allow you to shift and grow? Because if Chrysocolla is appearing, it's time. Our past informs who we are now and also who we will become in the future. Sometimes we tuck pieces of this past, bits of trauma or passion, away from our consciousness. These pieces of self lie dormant until we are ready to unpack them and the transformations they might bring. If you feel ready to unpack your story, knowing it might change you, create room for your past by clearing space for an altar. In the center of this cleared space, light a candle for your past self. Call in the soothing blues and greens of Chrysocolla as you gently ask your past to step forward into your present. Over the days and weeks to come, add to your altar as your intuition guides you. As you add each item, ask it what it has to teach you about who you have been and who you are becoming. Chrysocolla's ability to help smooth out transformation, whether a huge life change or a gentle shift in perspective, and I think it's going to be a major shift in perspective for you guys, made this stone a favorite of the Egyptian Queen Cleopatra, who is said to carry a piece with her always. The stone helped her and those around her to relax their attitudes and shift their perspectives, earning Chrysocolla the moniker the Wise Stone of Conciliation. We all have attitudes that have become fixed and calcified, making us feel ornery or even attacked when someone thinks in a different way than we do. Take a moment to do an inventory. Where are your ideas rock hard? Maybe it's the political realm, or your thoughts about what type of work you're capable of. Maybe it's an attitude toward a particular person or group of people. What happens if you allow a little water, a little flow into your thought process? All right. So I was telling this to pile 1 as well, but if you want to work with any stone that you don't happen to have, everything is just energy. So if you can want to work with chrysocolla, you can even look at images of it, or something like that. Or just, you know, call upon the energy of chrysocolla, or go and buy yourself some chrysocolla if you don't have some. Or don't work with chrysocolla at all. You know, like with you guys, whatever this shift is that's going to be coming in, it's just going to come. You know, there's really nothing you can do to stop it. It is on its way. And, yeah, I mean, just keep your spirits happy. You know, if you're a very busy, action-oriented person, try to make sure that you're staying busy with things that support your happiness and vitality as well. And this greater awareness, it's going to come in like a very bizarre spaceship from outer space. Maybe that's what some of you will experience. Who knows? But I do think that whatever it is, it's not just going to be mind-blowing. It is going to open your heart more and, you know, open yourself to all of that beautiful heart chakra energy. Because you're worth it. You're worth feeling the fullness of your heart unfolding. And I do see that coming in for you. All right, guys. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right. Welcome, pile 3, to your reading. So we're trying to figure out, you know, what is blocking your successful manifestation of whatever it is in your life that you're trying to manifest. And I think that the message is pretty succinct. It's pretty clear for you guys. With this obsidian sharpened shadows, we have scissors cutting this cord in half. And the other cards do really support that. We have reinvention, purge, and karmic partner. So whether this is a romantic partner or romantic interest, or it could be friend or family member or coworker, it could be anyone. There's someone who has come into your life to teach you a karmic lesson, and I feel like you've pretty much learned all that you needed to learn from that situation. But there could be a part of you that's still clinging on. From the Sherlock Holmes deck, we have the 4 of Diamonds, which is like the 4 of Pentacles, and that does hold a sort of holding on energy. And I think that you guys have already started to kind of move on to reinvent yourselves, reinvent your lives. I think you may have already been purging this person out of your life, but there is further purging and cord cutting to be done here. Oops. So this card says, if my future were black, it was better surely to face it like a man than to attempt to brighten it by mere will-o'-the-wisps of the imagination. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to have a difficult future, but I think what it's saying is that maybe in regards to this karmic person, maybe you recognize that there isn't really a bright and happy future with them anymore, but perhaps the part of you that's holding on to them still wants to engage in, you know, will-o'-the-wisps of the imagination. So there's a part of you maybe that still wants to imagine that a happy life with this person is possible, or it could just, you know, you just like thinking about them and engaging in your fantasy world about this person, even though it seems to me that you probably have already realized this person is someone you need to move on from. But let's see what else we get from the tarot here. But that really seems to be kind of the major thing that is blocking your intuition. Or, I'm sorry, blocking your manifestation, but it might be blocking your intuition as well. The intuition that is going to help support you in manifesting. Okay, what else do they need to know here? We've got the King of Wands. I definitely sense like you are very in charge of your life. Like you are a boss lady. You are a boss man. You're just a boss. You are a boss. All right. And I feel like that's really what you are wanting more to focus on right now, rather than whoever this karmic partner might be. Yeah, you got goals. You got goals, and you are like a sharp shooter going after those goals. And then we get the 8 of Cups. Yeah. I mean, it's just like the major thing that's maybe dragging you down and keeping you from being able to manifest these big goals that you're going after like a boss is that sometimes you might look back or think back about what was and what could have been with this person. And yeah, I mean, I think it is what it is, right? It's just a cycle that perhaps you're in. And whenever we get the Eight of Cups, it can show that it's just going to be like a 2 steps forward, maybe occasionally 1 step back. But let's see what this card says from the book to give you maybe some better insights into that moving on process and what you can do. Something that I saw recently that I thought was interesting was this candle ritual where people would take 2 little candles, like the stick candles. You know, they're just little thin candles about as thick as a finger. They would, I don't know what kind of cord they use, but they would tie the 2 candles together with a cord. So they're each standing apart like this with a cord wrapped around them. And then you light the wick on top of each of the candles. So one of the candles you designate to represent you. One of them you designate to represent the person that you're trying to cut cords with. And then you watch the candles burn. And sometimes even the way that they burn down can show intuitively some of the energies between the 2 of you, you know, as this cord cutting is happening. It's just very interesting. I've never done it, but I've seen some videos of it recently. So you could, you know, look that up. Candle cord cutting. There are some videos on YouTube and TikTok of it. I don't have TikTok, so I don't know if you can just search for a particular video on there. I don't know how it works, guys. But anyways, let's get into your obsidian here. Let's be clear. Obsidian is not a gentle friend. Precise, yes. Masterful, always. Quicker than a cheetah taking down a gazelle? Absolutely. But gentle, that's not Obsidian's domain. An uncompromising mirror and a surgically sharp blade, Obsidian helps you see your shadows and excise them. No long, drawn-out therapy sessions or weeks of vacillating. When it's time to let go, Obsidian tells you there's no mercy in taking it slow. And that, in and of itself, is sometimes a relief. When you need the kind of honesty that lets you see your shadows clearly, in this case, shadows that might be keeping you holding on when you need to let go, when you are truly ready to make a final and clean break, when you want the letting go to be fast, call on Obsidian. Since the Stone Age, Obsidian has been used when a sharp edge is needed. Surgeons still use obsidian scalpels when they need a blade sharper than surgical steel. While we physically move on from relationships, jobs, and homes, we sometimes hold on to an emotional or spiritual part of our past. Obsidian is the perfect ally to metaphorically cut the cord. Begin by closing your eyes and asking yourself where, on or in your body, you still feel an attachment. Go with your first impression and don't overthink it. Maybe you'll know who or what that cord is, maybe not, and that's okay. Ask yourself if you're ready to release whatever bindings you find. When the answer is yes, I'm ready, imagine your hand as an obsidian blade and use it to cut the cord. This is emotional, spiritual surgery, so be gentle with yourself as you heal. Shocks and sharpness. Obsidian was shocked into existence, formed as molten volcanic glass, cooled quickly. So quickly, in fact, there wasn't time for the molecules to organize into a crystalline matrix, so it's not actually a crystal. Like obsidian, experiencing the trauma of extreme situations can cause us to freeze in an amorphous state. Our thoughts might remain unorganized, our reactions defensive, sharp, and cutting. What events in your life have formed fissures in your personality? What happens when you revisit those moments with obsidian's medicine of unremitting honesty? To soften obsidian's sharpness, work with silver, gold, or rainbow sheen obsidian. In all 3 of these stones, gas bubbles align across the surface adding a layer of metaphoric padding. Call on snowflake obsidian when you want to use your breath as a form of release. So I've said this to the other 2 piles, but you can always work with gemstones energetically, even if you don't physically have one, because everything is energy. So anyway, I hope that this helps. I mean, the message is basically cutting the cords is going to help to usher in your manifestations. And with this final card here, King of Swords, I think logically you already knew that. Logically and intuitively, because we have a little crystal ball here. You already knew that that was something that was blocking you. So this is just that final confirmation that you need. Do some sort of cord cutting ritual or meditation. Call upon Archangel Michael. Whatever works for you. But go ahead and get those cords cut. And then get out here and be that badass boss that you are. Who's reinventing and taking control of your life and making SHIT happen. So, all right. Best of wishes to all you witches. Take care. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.